Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janani. If you're new here, welcome. Today I'm going to show you guys how I made these trippy abstract kind of earrings. This is a technique called Mokume Gane and it is from Japan. I believe this technique is mainly used on metal. So let's get started. These are the 5 colors I'll be using for this tutorial, and I ran them through my pasta machine on the thickest setting. Then I stacked the raw clay on top of each other. Then I cut this stack in half and rolled it to kind of flatten up. And I run both of these through my pasta machine on the thickest setting, and then I stacked them and cut it in half and run it through my pasta machine again. I repeat this step about a couple of times. Then I pushed and rolled my stack so I have a block that is about 2 by 2 inches. Here comes the fun part. For this part, you can use any tools that are lying around. I'm using a paintbrush and I'm just trying to poke holes randomly. Make sure when you're poking holes that it goes all the way through. Here I'm using a blade, not the sharp side, the blunt side of the blade, and cutting pieces. But I'm not separating them. I'm making sure that I push them back. To retain the shape of the block, I am pushing the sides in and then using the roller to kind of flatten the top up. Then I continue making shapes on this block. Here I'm using a cookie cutter, but notice I'm just putting back the pieces that I cut off. And then I'm using a tracing wheel. Here I'm starting to compress it and making the top smoother again. Then again, I continued poking and cutting the stack with various objects. I know it looks really mad, but there is a method to this madness. You'll see. After all the cutting and slicing, I smoothen my stack one last time and I pop it in the freezer for about 15 to 20 minutes. Putting it inside the freezer, in my opinion, makes the next step easier. After it's nice and chill, we're gonna start slicing it. So this is different. We're gonna slice it from the top. See? You can see a really nice design coming through. I slice pieces that are various thicknesses and various sizes. It's just I find this way easier. So no matter how big, small, or thickness of the slice, I keep it aside. Next, I started placing these pieces that I cut on a piece of scrap clay that I rolled on my pasta machine on the thickest setting. After I trim the excess, I use a piece of tissue paper and the roller to kind of burnish and smoothen the top of this slab. Then I ran it through my pasta machine on the thickest setting and gradually went down to the fourth thickest setting on my pasta machine. Since I felt like something was missing, I decided to add some gold leaf. I simply rubbed it in between my fingers and added to my clay. Then it was time to start cutting my shapes for the earrings. I use my good old cookie cutters for this. I will link them down in the description box along with all the tools and supplies I used in this video. I also use some black sparkle clay to cut off some parts of these earrings so it can offset with the busy pattern. Then I baked my earrings in 225 Fahrenheit for 1 hour and let them cool down. Then I started sanding my pieces. Again, I'm using the soap water technique. I'm dipping my pieces in soap water and then I'm using my sander to sand it off. I had to be very careful when I'm dipping my pieces because some of the gold leaf that was not holding on to the clay just fell off, but not too much. To make the holes for the jump rings, my sander comes with this little drill bit attachment. This makes really nice holes, so I'm using that. Next, I wipe my pieces thoroughly and move on to the finishing. For the finishing, I'm using my favorite Sculpey gloss glaze. I usually use about 2 or 3 coats of this, and I'm using a needle tool to help me hold my pieces in place. After the earrings are dried, I am adding jump rings and earring bags. Both of these products are listed down at the description box. And that is it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please make sure you follow me on Instagram at FernMitchHandmade, and I'll see you guys next week.